In the previous video, we discussed about a priori algorithm. In today's class, we will discuss one more property associated with the a priori algorithm, known as the a priori property. What is a priori property? All non-empty subsets of a frequent item set must also be frequent. This is a priori property. Now we will see one numerical example in which this property can be applied. We have given a transaction database. Minimum support is given as 2 and minimum confidence threshold as 70%. Find frequent item sets using a priori algorithm. Generate strong association rules. This is the transaction database. There are 9 items in the transaction database. In transaction ID 100, there are 3 items purchased, I1, I2, I5. In transaction 200, 2 items are purchased, I2 and I4, and so on. Now, for finding the association rules, in the first step, we find candidate 1 item set, that is C1. In the first iteration of the algorithm, each item is a member of the set of candidate 1 item set. So the algorithm simply scans all the transactions to count the number of occurrence of each item. This is candidate 1 item set or C1. Here the items and the corresponding frequency value are given. I1 6, I2 7, I3 6, I4 2, I5 2. This is candidate 1 item set. Now the minimum support value or support count is given as 2. So by using this value, we can find out frequent 1 item set or L1 from C1. So what is frequent 1 item set or L1? It consists of candidate 1 item set satisfying minimum support. This is frequent 1 item set or L1. All the items in C1 are having minimum support. So all the items in C1 are also included in L1. Now from L1 we are going to generate C2, that is candidate 2 item set. The algorithm uses the join operation to generate candidate 2 item set or C2. So C2 is formed like this: I1, I2, I1, I3, I1, I4, I1, I5, I2, I3, I2, I4, I2, I5, I3, I4, I3, I4, I5, I4, I5. This is the item. These are the items in candidate 1 item set. Candidate 2 item set. So these items are in candidate 2 item set: I1, I2, I1, I3, I1, I4, I1, I5, I2, I3, I2, I4, I2, I5, I3, I4, I3, I5, I4, I5. This is C2. From C2, we can find out L2. That means items satisfying items with the support count or frequency count 2 or more. So these are the items. From C1 we are selecting those items with the support count 2 or more. This is L2. I1, I2, I1, I3, I1, I5, I2, I3, I2, I4, I2, I5. Now from L2 we want to find out C3. For that we are using the join operation. L2 join L2. That means we can combine 2 items. The first item is common. So the items in L2 are I1, I2, I1, I3, I1, I5, I2, I3, I2, I4 and I2, I5. We are finding the join operation. We find items in such a way that there is a lexicographic order is maintained. Otherwise items will be repeated. So the items in I1, I2, this is I1, I2, and I1, I3 can be joined to form I1, I2, I3, I1, I2, I3. Similarly, I1, I2 and I1, I5 can be joined to form I1, I2, I5. Now, I1, I3 and I1, I5 is joined to form I1, I3, I5. Similarly, I2, I3 and I2, I4 can be combined to form I2, I3, I4. Now, I2, I3 and I2, I5 is joined to form I2, I3, I5. Finally, I2, I5, I2, I4 and I2, I5 can be combined to form I2, I4, I5. These are the item sets obtained by the join operation. So L2 join L2 gives these items. There are 6 items, and these items we are going to find out how the a priori property can be applied to reduce some of the items, to remove some of the items, or prune some of the items from C3. Actually, when we if we include these items in C3, in the next phase, these items will be removed from removed. So L2 will contain only these 2 items. But here, when we are applying a priori property, these items are removed from, some of the items are removed from C3 itself. So after the join operation, we are getting 6 items. All these items are not included in C3. We are removing some of the items by pruning. This pruning is made possible by the a priori property. Now we will see how pruning is possible. So for pruning, we are using the a priori property. What is all non-empty subsets of a frequent item set must also be frequent. That means if an item is not frequent, then surely its superset will not be frequent. So that property is used here. So when we use that property, some of the candidates can be found out, can be removed because they are not frequent. Now these are the items obtained by the join operation. We are going to apply the a priori property, and we can see find that the 4 items I1, I3, I5, I2, I3, I4, I2, I3, I5, I2, I4, I5. These 4 items are not frequent because it is that items are not satisfying the a priori property. So we remove them from C3. What is the step used? We will find out the subsets of each one of these items, and we will check whether these subsets are in L2. If the subsets are in L2, then this item can be considered as frequent. Otherwise, this item will be removed from C3. So this is the procedure used. First, we have to consider I1, I2, I3. When we consider I1, I2, I3, there are 3 subsets: I1, I2, I1, I3, I2, I3. We can see that all these are in L2. That means I1, I2, I3 is also frequent, so it is not removed. Now coming to I1, I2, I5, there are the subsets are I1, I2, I1, I5 and I2, I5. All these subsets are in L2, so this is not removed. This is frequent. Similarly, when we consider I1, I3, I5, we can find that the subsets are I1, I3, I1, I5 and I3, I5. But I3, I5 is not in L2. So one of the subset is not in L2. That means I1, I3, I5 is not frequent. Similarly, I2, we can find out that I2, I3, I4 is not frequent because I3, I4, which is a subset of I1, I2, I3, I4 is not in L2 and it is not frequent. So I2, I3, I5, in the case of I2, I3, I5, I3, I5 is not in L2. That means I3, I5 is not frequent. So I2, I3, I5 is also not frequent. Similarly, I2, I4, I5. It is also not frequent because I4, I5 is not in L2 or not frequent. So it is removed. So these 4 items are removed from C3. Actually, we are not calculating the support count of these items. Before that, if this is included in C3 and we are not applying the a priori property, in that case, this will remain in C3 and this will get eliminated in the L3. But here, before going to the step of L3, in C3 itself, these items are removed by using the priori property. So there is no need of calculating their frequency count. This is given to show that they are already not frequent. So C3 now contains only two items, I1, I2, I3, I1, I2 and I5. Now based on the support count, they are included in L3. Now coming to C4, candidate 4 item set. This is L3 join L3. We will join L3 to find out, apply join operation in L3 to find out candidate 4 item set. The items in L3 are I1, I2, I3, I1, I2, I5. To obtain C4, the first two items should be common. So we have such an item here, I1, I2, I1, I2. In these two items, the first two items are common. So we can combine them to form the 4 item set. That is I1, I2, I3, I5. So this is C4, but we are pruning or we are applying the a priori property. That is, we can find that I2, I3, I5, which is a subset of C4, is not in L3. L3 contains only I1, I2, I3 and I1, I2, I5. One more subset of I1, I2, I3, I5 is I2, I3, I5. This is not in L2. So we can say that this is also not frequent. I1, I2, I3, I5 is also not frequent. So it is removed and the C4, actually C4 becomes empty. So since C4 is empty, then there is no L4. So the algorithm terminates having found all the frequent item sets. Now generating association rules from once a frequent item set generation is complete, we can find out association rules. Now from all the frequent item set, we can find out association rules. We have two frequent item sets in L3. One is I1, I2, I5. The non-empty subsets of X are I1, I2, I1, I5, I2, I5, I1, I2, I5. So we can form rules like this. I1, I2 gives I5, I1, I5 gives I2, I2, I5 gives I1, I1 gives I2, I5, I2 gives I1, I5, I5 gives I1, I2. And for all these rules, we can find out the confidence value. In this case, the confidence value is number of times I1, I2, I5 occurs divided by number of times I1, I2 occurs. That is 2 by 4. Similarly, the confidence of all other rules can be found. Now, this minimum confidence value is given as 70%. We can see that only 3 rules. For 3 rules, the confidence value is above 70%. So these are the strong rules. Other rules cannot be selected. Similarly, we considered only one frequent item set. There are one more frequent item set in L3. That is I1, I2, I3. From this item set also, we can form 6 rules and find out their confidence value. And those rules with confidence value 70 or above can be considered as strong rules. So in today's class, we discussed about the a priori algorithm. The usual procedure for a priori algorithm is to find out candidate 1 item set. From candidate 1 item set, we can find out L1, frequent 1 item set, then candidate 2 item set, then frequent 2 item set, and so on. In this case, we considered one more aspect of the algorithm, that is a priori property. By considering the a priori property, we can reduce some of the items or remove some of the items from the candidate item set, so that when we remove items like that, the advantage is that there is no need of scanning the transaction database to find their support count value. we can use the frequent item set, which is of very small size compared to the transaction database for finding whether the items are frequent. So there is a reduction in computation time when we apply the a priori property.